Alright, hello. This will be the Region 2023 Number Sense Guide. I'll try to explain the tricks to the best of my abilities. If you want a more detailed explanation for any given problem, either ask me in person or leave a comment and I'll try to answer them. With that out of the way, let's begin. Okay, 2122 times 20. What you simply do is you put a 0 at the end, and then you multiply each digit by 2. So 0 at the end, 4, 4, 2, 4. So 42440. This one, add 10, 15, minus 9 is 6. You took 1 from that, so 1 minus 1 is 0. You have to add 10 onto that, and 10 minus 2 is 8. And then you subtract 1 from that, so 7 minus 7 is 0, so 86. Okay, this plus that. Add up each corresponding digit. 2, 5, 3, 2, 2, 2. And whenever I'm talking like this, I'm going right to left. That's the way you should be thinking about number problems is when you almost always want to solve them right to left. That'll make things way easier. 23 divided by 3 and 1/2. Improper fraction, that makes it 7 over 2. 23 times 2 all over 7. 46 over 7 is 6 and 4/7. Okay, all these are multiplied by 20, so add up the stuff multiplied by 20. 21 plus 22 plus 23 is 22 times 3 is 66. 66 times 20, 132 times 10, 1320. 22 squared, you should have this memorized, but if you don't, you can do FOIL. 2 squared, 4. 2 times 2, do that twice, 8, and then 2 times 2 is 4. 484. All this stuff. Cancel out this 10, multiply by 10 and divide by 20, so simply divide by 2. 5 minus 15 over 2 plus 25. So 5 minus 7.5 plus 25 is 22.5. I feel like, yeah, no, that is correct. Okay, multiplying this by 100 gets rid of the decimal basically, and then you subtract 2. 2120. Okay, convert this into an improper fraction. Well, this is 5/9, as you should hopefully recognize. Then you take this 5 and multiply by 9 to convert it into an improper fraction, and you get 50 over 9, or 4 times 9 plus 5 over 9. This is slightly greater than 23 times 21, which is pretty close to 22 squared, so 484, and the appropriate number of zeros. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 after it, so 484, and then 2 zeros. A GCF of this, you just got to kind of look at it. It helps to realize that 28 and 35 are 7 apart. So you're thinking of 7 and you realize everything is divisible by 7. And it can't be anything greater because anything greater can't go from 28 to 35. Okay, 12 this year divided by 9 remainder. Add up all the digits, you get 8. That's your answer. Which is smaller? Okay, generally you can imagine this as the smaller number is the greater negative number, basically. So you can imagine 3 over 4. If you add any number to both the numerator and denominator, it makes it bigger if it's not an improper fraction. So 5 over 6 has to be greater than 3 over 4 because you're adding 2 to each. So the answer, but since they're both negative, that makes the number smaller. So negative 5 over 6 is your answer. 124 times 15. 24 times 15, 24 times 3 over 2, 360. 60 at the end, 15 times 1 is 15, plus 3 is 18. 1860. Okay, divide by 4 remainder. You check the ending 2 and see what their remainder when divided by 4 is. 0, 1 plus 2 is 3. 1/4 plus 1/6 plus 1/8 is what? Make them all over 24. You have to multiply by 6 on that. 6 plus 4 plus 3 is 13 over 24. 17, you got to cancel out this one of these 6's and one of these 3's because you're dividing by it. 3 times 6 times 9, 18 times 9, 9 squared times 2, 81 times 2, 162. 9 dilts cost that much. 6 dilts cost what? 6 over 9 is your factor, so 2/3 times 12 is 8. So $8, 8.00. Okay, this is just FOIL. 3 times 2, 6. 3 times 3 plus 2 times 2, 13. 3, carry a 1. 2 times 3 plus 1 is 7. Okay, 892 times 213. Okay, this is around, this is around 900 times 200, but it's actually a little greater than because this number increase is greater than this one and it's on a lower number, so it makes it more important or more impactful. So the 1800 is 18 and then 4 zeros is actually not in range. You have to go very slightly higher, so like 18.5. So 18.5, and then you have your 18 at start, and then 4 digits after that, 18.5000, because these two and these two. 22 gallon takes at 3.49 is what? Well, you can multiply this by 2, you get 6.98, and then do the 11s trick. So 8, and then 17, carry 1, uh, yeah, and then 16, I believe, and then 4. You should know the 11th trick, hopefully. If you don't, Brian Heath, or ask me for a better or for a more in-depth explanation, but I got other problems to go to. 124 divided by 5 is what? Well, 25 goes into 124 4 times at first. 4, and then you just have 24 over 25. Multiply that by 4, and you get 96 over 100, so 4.96. Any prime numbers, divide 180. To get this 0, you have to multiply 2 and 5. And to get this 18, you have to multiply by 3. So your numbers are 2, 5, and 3. So 3 numbers. This is equivalent to x minus 2 all squared. 20 squared is 400. This, you just got to convert the base. 4, 16, 64. 64 times 2, 128. Plus 16, 144. Plus 2 times 4 is 152. Plus 2 is 100. I'm sorry, I sometimes lose track when I'm talking and trying to do it at the same time. 144, 152, yeah, 154, I believe is correct. Okay, these 4 over 7 and 3 over 7 add up to 1, so you do 10 times 10 plus 1 is 11. Write 110, then you multiply those together, so 110 and 12/49. Okay, this is 5 over 6, this, or 5 over 12, this is 5 over 6. 5 over 6 times 2, 10 over 12, 10 plus 5, 15 over 12, 5 over 4. 4/7, so 14 is 2/3 of what? Flip this fraction, or percentage, or flip this fraction basically, multiply it by that, and also multiply that fraction. So 14 times 3 over 2, 7 times 3 is 21. 21 divided by 7 is 3 times 4 is 12. So your answer is 12. This is 1500 minus 8, and then you have this plus 8 squared, which cancels out. So it's 1500 times 8, basically. And if you do that, you get 12000, I believe. So 15 times 8, basically. Okay, this is slightly less than this number right here is slightly less than 2 and some number of zeros times this. So you can do like 1, 9. So 1, 9, and then your 4 is at the end. 1, 9. You have 5 digits after it, so you need 5 digits after your 2 and 1. So there's 2 here, so you need 3 after the 1. So 1900. Okay, this 3 and 7 add up to 10, which means 3 times 7 is 21. And then 4 times 4 plus 1 is 20. So 2021. This times that. First do 6 times 9, 54. Then do the mixed numbers times the fractions. 6 divided by 3 times 2 is 4. 9 divided by 3 times 2 is 6. 54 plus 4 plus 6 is 64. I believe I did that correct. 64 and then 2/3 times 2/3, 4/9. Okay, this has a remainder of what? Simply find the remainder of each number in there and do the math. 17 mod 6 is 5, 4, and 1, 2. 4 times 1 plus 5 is 9, 3, plus 2 is 5. Given 1, 1, 3, 5, 6, 12, P minus R is what? These are triangular numbers and pentagonal numbers split series. So plus 2, plus 3, and it'll be plus 4. And then you have plus 4, plus 7, and you'll have plus 10. So you'll have 10 and 22. So in that case, 10 minus 22 is negative 12. When the integers less than or equal to 21 or relatively prime 21, your prime factors are 3 and 7. 2/3 times 6/7 is 12, times 21 is 12. 40 cars use gas, 18 cars use electricity, and 12 cars use both. How many cars are there? Okay, basically, both times total, or both plus total gets you the amounts using each. So in other words, 40 plus 18 minus both, which is 12. So 40 plus 6, 46 cars. Okay, this is going to be that again. 8 times 5 is 40. 5 over 5 times 3, add 3, 43. 8 over 8 times 3, add another 3, 46. And then 9 over 40. Okay, this is another series. Add these up. 50. Find the number of terms. 46 minus 4 is 42. Divided by 3 is 14. Add 1. There are 15 terms. 50 over 2 is 25. 25 times 15. A bit weird, but 375. 25 times 1 times 3 over 2, if you want to think of it that way. Sum of the roots is 5. Find k. Sum of roots is negative this value over that, so k is negative 15. Okay, this group its square root, so group these in pairs of 2. 0, right of 0, this matters, and 4. This is a little higher than 4 or 2 squared, so like 2, 1. 2, 1, 0, 0. Median of an isosceles triangle is 2 feet. If the longer base is 2.5 feet, the shorter base is how many feet? So the median is 2. A bit weird, they call it median. Longer base is that, and the shorter base is what? Okay, well this is first off this is a Pythagorean theorem basically. Your longer base acts as, honestly I don't fully understand it, but basically this squared minus that squared gets you that. You have to multiply by 12 to convert to inches. Yeah, everyone missed that probably. Okay, so this falls into the 3, 4, 5 right triangle. So if you divide 3 and 4 and 5 by 2, you get these values. So your shortest space is 1.5 feet or 18 inches. Okay, 4 power to 7 plus 2 power to 7. These cancel out each other again. That's a 0. Okay, convert each individual base 9 to base 3. 0, 2, 0, 2, 1, 1. Y is equal to 3 minus x. X is equal to y minus 3. Find x. Okay, yeah, just replace x with y minus 3. 3 minus y plus 3. 6 is equal to 2y. Y is equal to 3. X is equal to 0. So x is 0. 3 power 6 has how many positive equal divisors? Based on the exponent of each of the primes times or plus 1. So 7 times nothing else is 7. 7 times 1, I suppose. Okay, 5 power to 4 minus 3. 5 power to 4 in base 5 is 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. Subtract 3, and you get 4, 4, 4, and then a 2 left over. Okay, 8 permutation 4 divided by 8 permutation 1. So basically 8 over 4 factorial divided by, or 8 factorial over 4 factorial divided by 8 factorial over 7 factorial. So in this case, the 8's cancel each other out, and you have 7 factorial over 4 factorial, or 7 times 6 times 5. 42 times 5, 42 over 2, 21 times 100 times 10 is 210. 48 is equal to, okay, 48 is this. Just do FOIL. You should know how to do that. I'm not going to map you through it. Just do it for each of them. It's hard. It takes a while, but it's not the end of the world. 5 times around a little less than 6, so like 5 gets you 20, and these things gets you 22. Convert this to improper fraction. 5 times 13 plus 1 is 68.6. Divide that. Okay, your divisor is now 3, or 22 over 66. Simplified, your denominator is 3. 5 plus 3 is 8. This is a little far apart of 7 squared, basically, or 700 times 700. So like 48. 48, and then you have 4 digits afterwards. So 480000. Okay, this is your geometric term. 1 over 6 times 1 over 1 minus 1 over 6, or 1 over 5 over 6, or in other words, 1/6 times 6 over 5 gets you 1/5. Look up the area or the equation for sum of geometric series if you don't know that. Okay, multiply each of them. 4 times 2 is 8, minus 3 is 5, write a 5. 2 times 4 is 8, minus 2 is 6, 1, 0. Okay, 73 squared minus 74 squared. In this case, it's just the basically for this stuff, it's the sum of the two values times the difference between two values. So 147 times -1, negative 147. 4 power to 6x is equal to 496. Find 4 power to 2x. Well, 4 power to 2x is the cube, what you get when you take the cube root of both sides. So cube root of 496 is 16, if you remember your cubes. 36 squared plus 44 squared. Okay, you can do this is greater than this 10 by 1, and these two, this 1 and this 10 add up to 10. So if you do that, now since this 1 was compared to this 10, you do the digits on this squared. 4 squared plus 4 squared is 32. 32 times 101, 32, 32. Measure of an exterior angle of a regular intagon is 60 degrees. Number of sides is what? Exterior angle is 360 degrees divided by your number of sides. So your number of sides to get that is 6. 2 dice are rolled. What is the probability the sum of the faces is 2, 3, or 12? Okay, how dice work is that the ways you can get it, starting at 2, go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ending with your 1 possibility on 12, and starting with your 1 possibility on 2. So 1 plus 1 plus 2 gets you 4 possibilities, and there are 36 unique dice rolls, so 1 over 9. 50 power to 13 divided by 13 as a remainder of what? There are 12 relatively prime numbers to 13, so take this exponent, find mod 12. So remainder 13 divided by 12 is 1. And then you have 50 powered to 1, so 50 divided by 13 as a remainder of 11. Okay, k is equal to 1. 20 negative 1 power to k times k squared. Basically, how this works is this is alternating squares, so you do last term times 1 plus last term all over 2. 20 times 21 over 2, 10 times 21 is 210. It's on a positive, so 210 is your answer. That many laps around the circle is how many radians? It's equal, a circle is 2 pi radians, so multiply this by 2 pi. So like 6, a little greater than 6, and you'll get like 2/600 or something. That seems reasonable, probably in range. Area of the ellipse is that, find k. Area of the ellipse is this divided by that, or square root of this divided by that times this divided by that. So 25 times 16, square root of that. So you take the square root of each. 4 times 5 is 20. If xy is 5, x plus y is -5, then find that. For that, it's this value squared, 25, minus 3 times this value, xy. 10, and then multiplied by that again, so negative 50. If 2 square root of 50 plus square root of 32 is equal to square root of x, then what is x? Okay, take out the 5, and then you're left with 10 square root of 2, because you're dividing by 5 squared. 10 square root of 2 plus, do the same thing, you take out 4 this time, 4 square root of 2. 14 square root of 2, you have to multiply by 14 squared to get back in, so 196 times 2 is 200 minus 4 times 2 is 100, or 392. This divided by that has a remainder of what? This acts as your 9, so 2, 1, 2, 2. Add those up, you get 7. 7 divided by 3 has a remainder of 1. A secant of cosine negative 1 of negative 1 half. Okay, this basically flips this number, so negative 1 half, secant, negative 2. Total surface area of a right circular cylinder with a height 10 and diameter 4 is what? A surface area of cylinder is r squared times pi times 2 plus your circumference times your height. So 2 squared times 2 is 8, and then you have 4 times 10 is 48 pi, all 48, and everything's multiplied by pi. Okay, to get this, multiply this by 7, 35 times 6 factorial, multiply it by 6, 210 times 5 factorial, divide minus 7 times 5 factorial, 203. Okay, you gotta figure out this. This is equal to, since it's squared, it's equal to that times that, plus that times that. So basically just 6 minus b times 2. So you get b is equal to 5 to make that happen. Okay, this basically multiplies out to 333. You might recognize it because 37 times 27 is 999, and this is that divided by 3. So this cancels out the 2, and then you have 11 and 4, so 88. Or 2 times 11 times 4. Okay, cube root, group 3's, 0. This matters somewhat, and then a little, and then 20, which is a decent bit less than 3. 3 cubes. So I would go like 270 or 280, and that should get you the something in range. The 70 might not. Hold on. No, 70 wouldn't. My bad. So it's cubes, so they change a lot. So yeah, in this case, it would be 580 would be your best bet. Actually, it is in range. Never mind. Ignore everything I said. Okay, remainder when this is divided by x minus 2. What you do for this is you simply plug in negative this number. So plug in negative 2 for this equation, do a bunch of math, and you'll get your answer. Change 0.14 base 5 to base 10. Okay, you can first change this to a fraction. So actually, really, there's no need. This is 1/5 times 1, so 1 over, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. 1 over 5, then you're taking it to 1 over 25 multiplied by 5. 5 over 25 plus 4 over 25 is 9 over 25. Multiply top and bottom by 4, you get 36 over 100, so 0.36. Smallest value in the domains of y is equal to square root of 4 minus x squared, where y is equal to reals, is what? Okay, so basically smallest value in domain. Basically, you got to figure out what's the smallest value that causes this to still be non-negative. So in that case, the lowest value would be 2 or negative 2 squared, so negative 2 is your smallest. If f prime is equal to 4x and f1 is equal to 0, f of negative 1 is what? Okay, basically, yeah. Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, you take the integral of this, 2x squared. Realize that it doesn't matter if the x is positive or negative, so therefore f of negative 1 is still a 0. Okay, this thing, you just gotta take the integral of it, I believe. No easy way around it. Uh, give me a sec. So integral of that. Uh, Actually, yeah, that's not easy at all. Hold up. I swear there's an easier way to do this. Uh, this is usually the hardest one. You can also just kind of map it out visually. You know that it's going to be kind of similar to a sine of x, which if you take the integral of that gets you 2. So, and then you also got to realize it's a little less than that. So you're multiplying by pi, and you'll see that 1 over 2 is reasonable in that regard. So like 2 over pi, a little less than that, gets 1/2. But you can also just take the integral of it, I believe. I feel like I feel like I should be able to do that, but my brain isn't really working right now, I guess. So in any case, let me just give it one last look. Yeah, I don't really know. Okay, 76. But the answer is 1/2, by the way, like I was discussing. Pretty similar to sine, integral from sine, from 0 to pi of sine, which is 2, 2, or you have to multiply by like 3 over 2 times pi, and it's a little less than that because it's squared, so 1/2. 76 is your standard, very annoying series or sequence. So in that case, if you this is definitely one of the hardest sequences on the entire test. It's basically what I believe it is. Yeah, it is triangular numbers minus Fibonacci. No idea how you guess that, but we figured it out eventually. 1, 1, or 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, minus 1, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 5. So in any case, E plus F, it still doesn't even make it easy to figure it out either. So what? You have 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21. You're subtracting 34. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 7 over 2, 21. 21 plus, this is your 8, so 6, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, this is why these sequences suck. 7 times 8 over 2 is 28. 28, 8 times 9 over 2, 36. 28 plus 36, 64, I believe. 64, and then you're subtracting I believe we got 13 and 21 minus 34, you get 30. Was that correct? I can't remember if that was correct. I think it was. So 7, back to an easier problem. You do it in steps. The 1's cube times 3 combination 0, so just 1. 5 times 1 squared times 3 combination 1 is 5. So 0, 1, 0, 5, 0. 5 squared times 3 combination 2 is 3 times 25. Or sorry, no, I forgot. 3. You write 15 there instead of 05 because 3 combination 1 is 3. So 1, 0, 15, 75 now, and then 5 cubed is 125 at the beginning. Okay, everything's going to be over 343. Multiply this by 49 to get to this. Divisor, or denominator, multiply this by 7 to get to that. 49 plus 7 plus 1 is 57, and it's all divided by 343. Round square root of 10 minus square root of 8 plus square root of 2 to the tens place. Let me just do that in my calculator right now just so I make sure I don't mess up my explanation, because this is another one of the hardest problems. Okay, oh geez, they do it 1.748. Why this sucks. And this is a 10, which is not a number you are supposed to have memorized. Basically, it's equivalent to square root of 5 times square root of 2. So like 2.236 times 1.414. And then this cancels out to minus square root of 2. So, oh, hold on. Okay, so, oh, this is minus square root of 2, and this is square root of 2 times 5. 5. So square root of 5 minus 1? No. No, that's not quite it. Yeah, forgive me. I may have figured out a new trick for this. Oh, yeah, it's just, okay, so it's square root of 5 minus 1 times 2. So like 1.236 times 1.414. It still doesn't make it very easy. Problems like this suck, but the answer is 1.478 is basically your almost exact number, so 1.7. It's just pain. It's just pain, you know. You can think of it as this is slightly less than 3.2, and then this is like what this is like 2.75, and then this is 1.4. Yeah, I would personally just skip it. And then 80, we'll get back to something easier. This is 1 over 12. And then you're multiplying that by like 7. So you have like 7 over 12. It's pretty close to like a little greater than 7 over 12 is like 6 something. 6 and then 4 zeros. So 60000. All right. Well, that was the entire test, I suppose. I'm sorry my brain really wasn't working at the end, but I'm trying. It's kind of hard to explain it and then work it out at the same time. Anyways, that was the test. Oh, if you want any more in-depth explanations, either meet me in person or leave a comment. These videos, I'm going to put a comment after some point. I'm basically going to say that you kind of need to already have read the Brian Heath booklet to understand what we're talking about. So.